What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Unlocked podcast. We are on episode 2. Episode 2. This is insane in the best possible way that we are back and we're being consistent and we're doing this thing. So it is going to be I think, a good episode. I hope it's a good episode. Look, I was telling Christina, I went this morning to go get my nails done. And I'm sitting there, and usually I like relax and stuff when they, do the pedicure and like massaging my feet and stuff. I like to close my eyes and just like relax. But the whole time I'm like on my phone, like trying to write notes and stuff like that, like trying to get this situated about like what I was going to talk about. But we here. So whatever happens at this point happens because look, Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about, I didn't even plan on talking about this. This actually hit me today. I planned on talking about something completely different, just like last time. And I decided to talk about this because this is like real life for me right now, this topic. And not just for me, but like some people that are around me. It's always confirmation when like you're going through a thing or you're facing a thing and like other people around you are too. It's kind of like, dang, like maybe this is something that like other people need to hear. Or maybe other people are going through the thing and you just don't know. So today we're going to talk about doing the hard thing. Doing the hard thing. So, a little backstory. I'm an only child, and I grew up with both my parents. But I have always been a kid that when things got tough or like difficult, I would just bow out. So like whether it's like sports, not sports. Whether it's like I remember being a kid and being on the dance team, like at the district that I lived at, or like karate, or like swimming. Let's not even talk about swimming. Swimming, I was legit in swimming class for like a week. And I was like, yeah, nah, bruh. Like as soon as they asked me to put my head like under the water, I was like, yeah, no. I used to freak out. I used to be like super fearful or whatever. But as soon as things got tough or like a thing that was hard for me to do, I would just like quit. So again, that came to me today where I'm like, this topic is not super easy for me because I've always been like that kid that bowed out when things got tough. So talking about doing the hard thing. Doing the hard thing, this sounds dumb, but doing the hard thing is hard. Doing the hard thing it's a choice. And it's a choice that you have to make. It's not a choice that, as an adult, it's not a choice that other people necessarily make for you. Your mom, your dad are making that decision for you. Like you're deciding to do that hard thing. And recently, it's just a lot. Like recently, I've had to go against what I know in the sense of like go against, how to put it, go against what I would initially think to do a thing, whether it's like saying sorry, just saying that, just like saying sorry or admitting like you're wrong, even though like you know that you're not, but just for the sake of like, okay, I'm beating around the bush. This is what it is. being mad at someone and choosing the hard thing by telling them that you're mad. That sounds so childish as I just said it out loud. But choosing to put aside your feelings, because you be in your feelings, choosing to put aside your feelings, to put aside the offense, to put aside the pride, like choosing to put that aside and to do the hard thing and say, I feel away, or do the hard thing and apologize if you're in the wrong. Doing the hard thing sucks sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. For me. And I feel like as of recently, I've been doing a lot of hard things. And doing them with the mindset of being like Christ. It's funny because I was watching, I didn't see the last episodes of The Chosen. But even reflecting on what I have watched and how Jesus in those episodes handled people, and how one of his disciples, Peter, he's really into defending God, and he has he is angry and he's he's aggressive or whatever. And how he would handle stuff, how he would handle stuff, that to me is the knee-jerking reaction to handle a thing. If someone cuts you off in traffic, of course I'm gonna swerve, honk my this sounds so terrible. Swerve, honk my horn, and then drive past them and look to see who they are. Those are the things that you don't have to think about. It's you just react to a situation. And in those episodes, Jesus was so not that. He handled things with such grace and poise and care. And for me, in some situations, that is the hard thing. When everything in your flesh is telling you to react to a thing differently, and to be mindful in the situation of okay, I feel like this, and I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling pettiness, the spirit of pettiness. We were just talking about spirits. The spirit of, it's giving spirit of pettiness. When you be so mad and you want the other person to know that you mad. So you do stuff I'm mad. Or they drop something. Well, you better pick it up. Well, you just being super petty, because you want them to feel what it is that you're feeling. But in those moments when emotions and feelings are so high, doing the hard thing is opposite of that. The easy thing is to feed into those emotions and to just be angry or just be petty or just hold on to offense. That's easy. You don't have to think, okay, now I'm going to be offended and I'm going to stay here. You just do it. The hard thing is forgiving. The hard thing is not holding on to that offense or that anger for too long. Some people can hold on, if I'm upset, I can hold on to that mug for a little minute. I say a little minute. A lot longer than I should. But I know for me, I'm trying to get to this point where I don't hold on to it for so long. I do the hard thing and say if I'm offended, or strike up the conversation of hey, can we talk about this? And that is the hard thing. When I tell you, that is the hard thing. Doing the hard thing can be holding your tongue. That's a difficult one for me, and my facial expressions. That can be very difficult. That is, yep. Holding your tongue, saying sorry, letting go of pride. And I put I put here small talk. For me, I love people. I do. Like, I genuinely care how you're doing. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta text somebody. Anywho, I genuinely care about people. What makes my heart do this cringe is small talk. I've started saying recently, which is funny, I'm good at small talk. I'm a great communicator. Legit. I have recently started telling myself that because I don't want to go to the default of I'm not good at small talk. Even thinking about it. So, like, if I meet somebody new, you have your pleasantries and you're like, hey, how you doing? My name is, depending on where you're at, the next question is like, oh, so how long have you been going to whatever? Or like, are you new around here? Like you do like the initial like get to know you questions, but they're only like 3 or 4 tops. So for me, once I get past that, I don't really know what to say to you. And because of my like introvert tendencies, we both, God forbid, we both introverted. Then we just gonna be looking at each other. And inside, I'm fighting myself because I'm trying to come up with like things to say. And I'm repeating questions in my mind. I'm like, no, I already asked them that. Like, I can't like re-say that. What else is there? Like, without getting deep. Like, when you know someone, you can go deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you've built that rapport. But for someone that you do not know, like, how do you move past the superficial questions? Like, once that is over, like, I don't have anything. It's easier for me to do small talk with someone that's extroverted because they just gonna take that whole conversation and like, and then dismiss you. Dismissing, leaving. I've been in so many situations where I don't know how to end a conversation. And I walk away praying that these people do not think I'm like the rudest chick out here. But when I tell you, like, there's so many times when I'm talking to someone and like it's been a solid 10 seconds. 10 seconds when no one's saying anything is like eternity. And I don't know how to end it. And it's like, I'm going to go inside. And then I just like walk away. It's like the awkwardest thing. So for me, small talk is a difficult thing. And I notice with difficult things, I find that God tends to put me in situations that I have to work at the thing. So like if my thing is I'm not the best at small talk, guess how many people Desirae is gonna come across and now has to do small talk. Like he puts me in situations to where like I have to like develop this thing and like work it. And it's so like, it's so hard for me. Yeah, and I just be feeling like people think I'm just rude. Like I'm just like super rude. And it's not that. I just legit don't know what to say. Like if I could like say a thing and walk away, I would, because there's no words formulating in my head. Also, a hard thing can be trust. Trust, and I put the little like sliding face emoji that's like melting off to the side, because trust is difficult. And it's funny because I feel like the end of last year, the beginning of this year, I've noticed that trust is a thing for me. Whether it's trusting people, whether it's trusting God, like trust is a lack of control. And I didn't realize how much I like to be in control. Letting go of a thing and letting God do a thing is like, no, I'm good. It's funny because Christina was telling me recently, like, open hands. Like, when your hands are open, you're allowing God to, like, it's like you relinquishing, like, control and allowing him to do. And, like, legit, in my shower time, because shower time be, like, prayer time for me, I be in that mode. I be going in. But, like, I legit, when I'm praying, my hands are open as, like, a symbol of like, okay, God, do it. Like, my hands are like open, not semi-open, little clench, so I can still grab a hold, but like fully letting go. Trust is a big one for me. And I didn't realize like how hard it was for me to trust people and trust God. It's funny because I feel like trusting people is easier than trusting God. Did I say that right? Yeah. Trusting people, for me, though I don't like trusting people either on some things, but it's easier to trust people than trust God. I find like, trusting God be like, did you hear me? Silence. Did you hear me? Silence. And it's like, all right, you didn't hear me, so I'm just going to take control back of this thing and like figure it out. And 9.99999 out of 10 times, I end up messing up the thing. Or I end up like frustrating myself trying to fix or come in control of the thing. Trying to come in control of the thing because I've not allowed myself to truly trust God in a situation. It was funny because a friend of mine reached out to me, I think it was like the end of last year, and she was saying, I popped into her mind or whatever, and she was saying how our relationship with our fathers tend to tend to reflect or like help us with our relationship with our Heavenly Father, or how we see our natural fathers can either influence the way we see God. And I remember thinking like, if my dad tells me, Des, I'm gonna do XYZ, I'm not thinking about how he gonna do it. I'm not thinking about, is he gonna do it? I'm not thinking about, is he gonna do it on time? You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the next thing. I'm not holding on to it like, is he gonna do it? Hey, did you do XYZ? Hey, like, I'm not trying to control how he makes his promises to me, because I know that if my dad says a thing, like, he's gonna do a thing. Like, there's a peace and there's a trust that he's gonna take care of what he said he was gonna take care of. But I do find it hard sometimes to have that same like peace when it comes to interacting with God. Because again, it's like, hey, did you hear me? Hey, did you hear me? And I ain't hearing nothing. You know what I hate? There's been times where we've had to like have quiet time with Jesus. And I'd be like, look, if my thoughts could be on a microphone, y'all would crack up. Me and God, I'd be like, look, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to be quiet in this space. But I don't be hearing nothing. I don't be hearing you. It just be legit like right now I have the diffuser going. So I hear the little humming of the thing. That my mind be on everything else because I'm not hearing nothing. So I find myself getting like super frustrated at the fact that like I need this quiet time and I'm laying these things at your feet, but I'm not hearing nothing. You're not telling me nothing. You're not confirming. I'm not getting a confirmation receipt that you heard me and that you understand what I'm saying. So how do I know that like you're really about to move in this situation? Or when the time comes for the thing and I need an answer, that you will actually show up for me. And that's a whole, see, I ain't even plan on, here we go. So my struggle, the difficult thing for me is I've had to learn that God talks to me differently. A lot of times, like, you hear people and they're like, God told me blah, 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 and then I was like, blah, 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 and then he was like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dang, y'all having a real good dialogue. y'all is, because I don't be hearing, like, all of that. Sometimes, a lot of times, I hear nothing, but he would show up in different places where, like, there's confirmation in a thing, or, like, a thought will pop into my mind, and then literally, like, minutes later, someone would say the exact same thing of the thought that popped into my mind. And it's kind of like freaky, like, what in the world? And I didn't tell nobody anything, but it would just be confirmation of like, okay, like you hear me, you see me or whatever. But I would struggle with that. And I think that's why it was so hard. And sometimes it still is hard for me to trust God and fully like rely on him. And it's funny, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking the imagery in my head. The reason why I didn't go and finish swimming classes, another part is, you know, like they tell you to do the float and they'll hold you. You got to relax every part of your body and trust that the instructor is holding you up. No, that man will let me go and my mouth. Help. But how much is that us to where like, you know, we have to allow ourselves to fully like let ourselves go and relax and allow God to like just be there for us and just, you know, like relax everything. Like you tell me to relax and my body tenses. Like you don't tell me to relax. You know what I mean? Like I naturally do the opposite. But it's like when you do come to the place that you fully like surrender and you don't have to like tense up or like worry or like choke out a thing and just allow God to like move and just take care of the situation. There's so much peace attached to that. But we be trying to hold on and like control a thing. By we, I mean me. Control a thing until it work out how I needed to work out. But what if it wasn't supposed to work out the way I needed it to? What if it was supposed to work out the way God needed it to for somebody else? But I decided to take control of it and do my own thing with it. But yeah, trust is definitely the hard thing. And then coming back to a place of trust is the difficult thing. After God does a thing or after like the situation has passed and another one presents itself, okay, am I going to trust again or am I going to worry and freak out again? And 9.99999 out of 10 times, I freak out again, as if he didn't just handle the situation the first time. When I was going through wanting to talk about this, the story of the man at the pool of Bethesda came to mind. And we all know the story. He was there for 30 something years. I don't remember the exact number, but it was 30 something years. And he was at the pool, everyone beat him to it. And if you don't know the story, check out Chosen, because they do a very good representation. But they would beat him to it because if you got to the water while it was bubbling up, you would be healed. But every time someone would beat him there, he was a lame man. He couldn't walk or anything. And then Jesus found him. Imagine 30 something years, not like 3 days, 30 something years. I'm about to be 32. 30 something years of being in the same place. Bruh. The same place, the same obstacle. It's like, for me, I can imagine like you've given up all possibility that like anything good is gonna happen for you. So Jesus comes and he asks the man if he wants to be healed. And the man says like, well, I'm trying to be, if I can get to the pool, but everyone keeps beating me. And when I was thinking about trust and doing the hard thing and how trust can be a hard thing, I thought about this man because I'm like, the hard thing for him in this situation was trusting that God can do a thing. If you're in a situation for 30 something years, laying there, people stepping over you, people not paying attention to you, you laying there, you probably depressed 30 something years and just laying there, like you can't do nothing else but like laying in that place, in that mindset, and someone comes and offers you help and deliverance out of a situation, you have to make a decision to trust and rely on something again. And it's not easy because after all of those years, like, you haven't seen anything moving. You haven't seen things work out because you're still stuck in the same place. So making that decision to trust and that God is going to do a thing, that to me was the hard thing for the man at Pool of Bethesda. Okay, and then last I have why do the hard thing? Like, why should someone do the hard thing or make the hard decision or the hard choice in like whatever situation? And I put change or growth when the hard thing is done, doing something different to get a desired result. So like, let's say there are things that you've been wanting to do and you can't seem to like get out of like the rut or whatever the case is. Doing the hard thing will get you the result that you desire. I think too, something that I've like struggled with is I had this false notion that I would feel like doing the thing, or like once I feel good about a thing, then I'll do it. Or like, these people that have successful whatever it is because they felt like doing it, and that's why they're there. So I was waiting on like this feeling of doing a thing, or like, being in like this place. But like, doing the hard thing does not feel good. Doing the hard thing is not like, oh, I'm doing the hard thing, like this is gonna be great. No, like, I'm pissed while I'm doing the hard thing. The fruit of the hard thing is the thing that causes me to be happy. But doing it itself, no. By no means is doing the hard thing feel good. But I think a lot of times, like, we're waiting on a feeling in order to act, or we're waiting on a feeling in order to do a thing. And that's why we're still in the same place that we've been at. It's giving Man and Pool of Bethesda. Like, we're still stuck in the same place after 30 some odd years. Let me find out I'm the man in the Pool of Bethesda. What? I just had a whole check. What? The man at the Pool of Bethesda. You're stuck waiting for 30 something odd years because I'm waiting on a feeling to do a thing. I'm waiting for everything to align just right so I can, like, go after my dreams or, like, goals or, like, you know, whatever the case is. And it's like, but am I doing the hard thing? Am I waking up earlier to do the thing? Am I setting aside time purposely to do the thing? Waking up is funny because I legit had this conversation with God this morning. Waking up early, I've always wanted to be that what they said, like, gym girly that wakes up early and then goes to the gym and then comes home and gets ready for work, but they're not rushing. I don't think I'm that person. Like, I don't think, let me not say that. It's hard to be that person. It's hard to, like, wake up early. Like, I enjoy rest. I enjoy sleep. I want to feel well rested. I'm a snoozer. That alarm goes off and I'm like, 10 more minutes. And I'm, like, snoozing all the way until there's the time that I have to go to the thing. But, like, I like rest. So the hard thing may be waking up early. The hard thing may be saying no to things. Saying no to, like, an invitation to do something, or saying no to, like, a side job, or, like, saying no to, like, hanging out with people because you have to do what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So that may be the difficult thing. And no, it doesn't feel good, but it's necessary in doing what it is that you desire to do, if that makes sense. So doing the hard thing for me right now is closing this episode. Is ending this episode. This topic is where I'm at currently in my life, what I'm facing in every area, growing, changing, that word. Yeah, so I hope you guys got something from this. What is it? Comment. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, show me some love. Share, send this. Drop any questions that you guys have, different topics that you want to, like, talk about or hear more about, or just to share, like, where you're at in your life, things that you're going through or facing or whatever it is. But yeah, so until next time. From the Wayans brothers. Cut, print, and something. That was beautiful, guys.